Hey, what's up, everyone? This is going to be a personal encounter experience. Now, first, as usual, I would like to state, if you enjoy my content and would like to support me, feel free to do so either on PayPal or Patreon. And just show your love and support, and it would help out a whole lot. With that being stated, here's my experience. So around 2007 or so, at that time, I had this flip phone. It was an LG flip phone. And I was walking toward the vehicle in the driveway. And this was about 7:30 to 8 o'clock in the morning. And it was on a Saturday morning. I was in 7th grade, and I had walked outside in the early morning, and as I had looked up I was playing, back then, all I was able to have is just audio recordings of my phone of certain songs, and I was playing one, and I had seen what later I would find out would be described as the white thing, or the white thing, that many people locally in the area had spoken about, and had been spoken about throughout the individuals in the area, and I found that out later in 2016 and 17 on the local Topics forums before Topics was removed. I honestly don't think Topics would even have been removed by the officials had it not been the fact that they were disclosing government information and information about law officials being crooked and crooked judges and things like that. Otherwise, I don't think they would have cared. But that's my opinion. But moving back to what I experienced in 2007. I had the flip phone on and I had pressed play on this audio recording of this song. And looked up and I seen this white thing. And it had dark eyes, very large, dark, black eyes. Very long arms. And very long fingers. But it was ghostly and see-through. Almost like an apparition, if you will. It was sort of like an apparition. A white, ghostly, see-through being with dark black eyes and a very small mouth. And it just stared at me, and then it turned quickly, and I heard a stick break when it stepped on something, and as it had turned around to step, it vanished as it was turning around. Later, I had gotten the camcorder that I had at the time, which was a DVD camcorder, and I had gone back outside and put it on the back of the vehicle. I put the camcorder out there. I had my flip phone ready to take pictures and record. I had my MP3 player ready to record audio. I was ready and waiting for this thing to return and to be able to record it. But whatever it was had disappeared through a portal and vanished. I had actually seen the barn across the road, which you've seen on previous footage. You've seen the barn. But I have actually seen a beam of light come out of that barn, like on Futurama when you see the intro, and it had done this. It goes like that, and it just beams outward in all directions, and then just kind of encloses back on itself. It's sort of like a dome of light, and then beaming back into itself, enclosing back into itself like a portal. I'll never forget witnessing that. A very strange, eerie, bluish-white light came out of the barn across the road from the inside and encompassed all around it, and then went back upward and then enclosed on itself and went back down. Like a sci-fi movie. That was years before then. That was when I was a child. I'd walked outside about 11 o'clock at night as a child to go to the swings, because I always enjoyed just going outside in the middle of the night. And this beam of light went upward. Like that. Here's the barn. Very crappy picture, but I'm sorry. And the light goes outward and beams around like that. Just beams all around. And then it just kind of encloses back and goes like this. And then just right there. And then goes back down and just disappears. Like on The Incredibles when he got that message that would self-destruct. When Bob Parr got the message and then it goes back, beams back inward, and then goes back down into the holographic projection. It was like a holographic projection. A projection coming out of the barn across the road. The neighbor's barn, the other person's barn. And when I had witnessed the white thing, it vanished there to the right of that barn, right across the road. I didn't feel any negativity from the white thing, whatever you want to call it, but I noticed that years later someone had asked on topics, have you ever seen the white thing or the white thing? So I responded and I stated, did it look like this? And I said, had long arms, long fingers, and it was all white and almost ghostly see-through, dark black eyes, and small, just round, small mouth. And then I said it turned and just, I heard a stick break or stepped on something and just disappeared, just vanished as it was turning. And she said, that's it. It's been known to be seen on people's porches and scrounging around. You can hear the noise on people's porches, or you drive by and you'll see it on someone's porch or in their yard. And it'll disappear. And she told a story where she was at this old water tower and they were kept up in there. They were making jokes about it, but then it kept them up there. They stayed up there and all night long waiting for that thing to disappear and go away, and it just vanished eventually. And that was the story she had shared on topics. And so when I described what I had witnessed, she stated that that was the exact same being that she had witnessed. She said, thank goodness someone else had witnessed this. Now, when you do a Google search for this, or a search online, on some search engine, whichever one you're using, you will see that Alabama pops up. And I'm sure beings like that have been seen in Alabama, because I've witnessed it all. I've witnessed Wendigo-like activity. I've witnessed skinwalker activity, shape-shifting beings, reptilians, alien-looking beings. Things of light, things of negative, things taking over you, out-of-body experiences, astral projection, strange marks and cuts and things in my body. I have witnessed beings, alien beings, angels, demonic forces, orbs and spirits, flashes of light, UFOs, strange government activity, a government facility and creatures, strange military crafts, Sasquatch / Bigfoot. This goat man sound. I was in the house and heard like a and a at the same time as a sound. It was like a goat / wolf howl. Well, that's weird. I'm talking about it right outside the window. Listen. Something making a sound over in the woods. Could be a dog, but it doesn't sound like a dog. Anyway, it's making sort of a barking sound, but all the dogs are asleep. It's right outside the window. It's right outside the window. Doesn't sound like any of the dogs that I recognize. Now the dogs are barking. Anyway, yeah, but sorry about the distraction there. I don't know if you can hear it through the window or not, but yeah, I've witnessed all of those types of beings. I've witnessed. Then someone started talking about the goat man. Someone started talking. I've seen tiny little beings, gnomes and fairies and orbs of light, all kinds of things. Anything from the other realm I've witnessed. And people think that everything like that is so far-fetched, but I've witnessed it all. Some I've captured on recordings, proving that it's not just all in your mind. We know that. And, but the white thing, yeah. The white thing is something that I personally experienced in 2007 or 8. It's been so long at this point that I really can't remember. It's been over 10 years at this point. That I know. And I should have documented everything. Like my mama has stated, I should have written everything down that I've witnessed. Those giant beings in the yard, those things that, and they took off. They'd have to be probably, I'd say 9 feet tall. If not more. They hit the top of the building. Something so large that it took a breath in the middle of the night at 1:30 in the morning and went, oof. It was tapping on the front window. This thing was tapping on the front window of the living room. This is not the white thing. This is years later, 2014 or so. And something is tapping on the living room window. And the cat at the time that we had in the house, Rocket, because he was so fast, he looked up and he looked toward the front window, and then he just put his head back down on the chair. And it was like ding, ding, ding. And then whatever this was able to take one breath, and it sounded like the face of it was large enough to cover the window. And the breath that it took shook the window, going, and that was in 2014, I would say, when I experienced a lot of these things after 2011 and 2012, and I looked it up, typed in all of the signs of what I was experiencing: rocks clanking, sticks breaking, loud howling and screaming, and various screams and howls and hoots and chirps and vocals and chattering. And then when I typed all of these things in, and then it was Sasquatch and Bigfoot stuff, and that was the last resort. I went to it and looked that up and listened to other people's vocals and recordings recordings of vocals and sounds, and it matched what I witnessed. The camera clicking sounds, the camera sounds, the chattering, the all kinds of things like that. And I realize many things are negative forces, and we're going to be experiencing a lot more of that in these times. But I've witnessed them, all of them. It's hard to find anyone out there that has witnessed almost all of it, but I've witnessed almost every type of being that you can name, positive or negative. And it's really something. That dog-like sound has stopped outside now. But I don't know if you heard it or not, but when I put the phone up to the window, hopefully you heard that. It wasn't any of our dogs. I didn't recognize it. It wasn't the neighbor's dogs. I didn't recognize that sound. And it would go like that. So there's definitely energy out tonight. But these are some personal encounters. Our animals were taken, abducted, left, cut open, all but the liver, drained of blood. A surgical procedure done on them, head bent back and traumatized, frozen. I witnessed a strange black dark being. I have witnessed. It was like a giant bug-like thing, and then I went to the trash and tried to lift it with a stick, and then it was gone. Whatever that was, it just vanished. I mean, I witnessed a UFO over the city, over these people's houses, and then it backed up, intelligently backed up behind the trees. It was this large craft just hovering over these people's homes. Just hovering over the homes. And then just totally just backed up behind the trees. Then took off in the sky when I was going to grab the camera. And at that time, it was just, all we had was a Kodak camera. I've witnessed all of these things. It's been something else, I'll tell you. It's been something else. But this journey, I wish could be better. I wish there would be a way that I could be able to make a living doing what I love online and sharing my own personal experiences. Because I have a very hard time, and I don't know how I would ever hold a job or whatever, but I don't feel like talking about that, but I just wanted to talk about what I've experienced. Everything. I've experienced all of these occurrences. Almost anything you can name. Find a show on Destination America. Find anything on the Monsters and Mysteries America. And I probably witnessed it. The strange owl beings. The bird-like beings. Reptilians. Interdimensional beings of any kind. I witnessed a lot of it. A lot of it. There was a tiny looking being that was in this drain pipe area when we were driving down the old road away from the house, and it just looked back at us. It was probably not even a foot high, and it was like one of those things that the skeletal remain looking things that they found, supposedly found in New Mexico or Mexico, like a chupacabra thing, and that's what it looked like. Like a reptilian alien looking thing looking at us. It was only about 12 inches high, if that. It was very small, bent over at the side of the bridge, which not really a bridge, it's just kind of it passes over this drain pipe. And it came out of there, and it was on the side of the road just looking at us, turned around. We all witnessed it. It was freaky. We knew if we turned back around and looked, it would be gone. It was in the evening. I've witnessed it all. I need to separate these into different videos. But I witnessed the white thing. Have you ever seen it? Let me know. And if you can, help support me. And donate. And if you'd like a shout out when you do, I'll give you one. Because times are still not the greatest. So I could definitely use the help. But anyway, if you would like, PayPal and Patreon are below. You can do either. Feel free to subscribe. Share your own personal experiences, because it helps out a lot to listen to others share their own experiences. Peace. Now the dogs are barking. Much love. If I hear anything mysterious, I'll try to record and post it. I mean, I already did. I tried to record through the window here a moment ago. Whatever that thing was outside just now. But I'm very sleepy, so I don't know if I'll be up or not. But peace, much love. I love you all. Bye. That's all for now. I've got so much to share. Keep your eyes open, everyone. Bye.